I think the Danforth Innovation Showcase last week gave us yet another perspective on how we might tackle that US market. So at the moment we are not so much partner orientated as we are looking for where the business needs to situate itself to be able to continue to perpetuate the offer. We launched IntelliSeed in November 2000. Sorry, it was in 2010 with GlaxoSmithKline in Australia on some high value seed that was being grown interstate. Of more recent times, the momentum certainly shifting into South Asia. There looks to be very good scope for IntelliSeed, certainly into India and Pakistan, and certainly China have shown a genuine interest. We commenced exporting our materials into India this year, and our first sale of IntelliSeed went to a US subsidiary company based out of Hyderabad. They'll commence coating on a high value line towards the end of this coating season with a view to extending that into other seed varieties for next year. We've also had some smaller volume sales which have got us started into China, not specifically with the IntelliSeed product, but certainly with the coating materials, which leads now to the acceptability of using IntelliSeed in those markets. We have trials undergoing or being undertaken in Africa, Europe. We shortly commence some trials in the US, and there's certainly a growing groundswell of where the technology can be used and how it can be used. Well, the great thing about IntelliSeed and what we found globally now after 12 to 18 months of pretty solid dialogue with the industry is that the technology sits perfectly down the middle of GM versus non-GM product. And the beauty of it is that you can have a non-GM seed batch, and it has the ability to use the technology just as a GM seed batch would. So in the instance of, say, answering the question, the GM product can use an IntelliSeed identifier, either as a covert or an overt marker. That product can be identified now through the value chain, even to, I guess, an elevator or a particular distribution point, and as I've said before, right through to use in soil. So where you have a new high value line that's related to a particular genetic trait or a genetic modification, most certainly you would want to protect that asset, and a topical application of IntelliSeed would be a good way to do that. Conversely, some people want to mark high value genetics that don't have a genetic trait which has the exact same need, but it doesn't discriminate either way. It's a free use product in terms of it doesn't discriminate how you use it. It's a fairly versatile offer.
So they don't need multiple solutions for multiple products, they need one solution.
Correct. It would be a fair assumption that being a new technology that exclusive codes will probably go to larger organisations that have higher value seed genetic pools, but we do have a number of generic codes, and that's where we're able to assist with, say, a standard IntelliSeed product, and it would be used on a specific seed variety or species and colour, and generally within a certain region, and that way we can service the whole industry. We don't have to have exclusive codes for everybody. There are ways that we can cater for a broader slice of the market. Technology is highly versatile. Not only does it apply to seed, but it can also apply to packaging, inks. If you think of it as, say, passport security for your seeds, which is one of our taglines, a seed company in North America could quite easily sign up to use the IntelliSeed product. They'd be licensed to use a specific code. There are multiple levels of code accessibility that we offer. It may be a generic code, so it might read with the particular reader devices that we have as a generic IntelliSeed code, or we can license a specific seed company with a specific code related to that company. So it's a very easy process. If you're film coating material today, or indeed pelleting, then it's a switch out process for materials you're currently using. And if you're going right down to the high level security or serial number per seed batch, it's a slight diversion from the process that you currently use, because what we do is we take out a small portion of a seed batch, apply the dots in that small batch, and then add it back in at a predefined ratio, so that you're only identifying, say, 1 in 10,000. You don't need to identify every seed in that instance. Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of discussions clearly around IP and IP protection, and there are patent systems and PBR systems, etc., which are clearly more legislative or mandated processes by which you can protect your IP. What we've done with IntelliSeed is we've specifically targeted a topical application which allows ready identification on seed, and it's a highly versatile system. Not only does it allow you to scan a bag of seed or a lot of seed to identify if in fact it is your property, it will read in soil from 6 to 14 weeks after germination. So where you've got a particular issue with a farmer or a seed lot not performing in the field, it also gives you that versatility. Its real value proposition, we believe, is in its cost. We're talking tens of cents per kilo, not significant cost across high value seed batches. And if you look across hybrid lines, it's a highly cost-effective way of not only dealing with product in the bag, but certainly from the start of the supply chain right through to in-field use. We were fortunate to pick up an innovation award from the National Australia Bank in November 2010, so last year, related to the IntelliSeed innovation. We were recognised by DuPont in the middle of May 2011 for innovation in food and agricultural production in terms of assisting that segment. And we've also recently participated in the St Louis Danforth Plant Science Centre Ag Innovation Showcase, which was also a very good forum to be involved with. AgTechnics has an IP protection system called IntelliSeed. IntelliSeed is a process that is used as a topical application on seed to identify specific seed batches. It has multiple levels of security. It works with colour. It works with covert marker as the second tier. It has a third tier which relates to an optical product that helps identify the fourth tier, which is a micro dot identification system that can take a seed batch right down to individual serial number or identified batch.